What's good, guys? CJ here, and today we got a big bomb. The Wuthering Waves developers are done dealing with everybody's BS. I'm gonna break it down real quick. The developers are tired of content creators and people overall dropping leaks, dropping content without their permission, and dropping content and information without verifying or waiting until it's officially ready for launch. Now, this has been an issue that's been going on for a very long time, and this is not new to gacha or games in general, but gacha games do have this issue going on a lot more. And right now, Wuthering Waves pretty much said, we're done with your shit. We going after you guys. Even if we got to go through with legal actions, we're going for your heads because we're tired of it. Now, a lot of people out there might be wondering why it is that developers have such a big issue with leaks. A lot of people seem to believe that leaks bring more interaction, bring more money, and grab players' attention a lot more than if there were no leaks. But I'm actually going to tell you guys my opinion, and the main reason I wanted to make this video is for two things. One, my community wouldn't stop talking about it, and there's this really cool video that has a lot of interesting information that I wanted to react with you guys and just get you to understand why some of these things might be. And this video broke it down perfectly. I'm going to give you my opinions, but this video pretty much summarized everything to the point that I figured making a whole video breaking things down was unnecessary. I'd rather react to this one, so let's hop right in. The video we're going to be reacting to today is by Tainted or Saint. I don't really know if I'm saying your name wrong. Let me know in the comment section. And bro, if you're watching this video and you want me to take my reaction down, by all means, let me know. And anybody that's not subscribed to the homie, do be sure to head on over and subscribe because this video was peak quality. So let's hop right in.
Kuro's done with their listening, at least when it comes to leaks. The official Wuthering Waves developer Twitter just posted some very spicy news regarding the actions they're taking and have already started taking against the unauthorized distribution of their content. They're not playing games. Things like more rigid and formal warnings, collaboration with content sharing platforms to remove material, and perhaps most extensive of all, ongoing legal proceedings in the court of law.
Guys, listen. They've been talking about this for a long time, and we've seen Genshin do it. Genshin back in the day, and they probably still do, but there were some big creators that were representing the brand that were dropping insane leaks, and they pretty much terminated all them folks. I don't know if y'all know about Majestic. He was the GOAT when it came to these leaks, and they went at his neck. So this is pretty common practice, and in all reality, the Wuthering Waves community is plagued by leaks. We're talking about the biggest videos and the most active content creators only drop leaks. There are some amazing content creators out there that drop a lot of really good stuff, but it kind of gets buried in the algorithm because of the people posting 3, 4, 5 videos in a couple of days talking about characters that are coming out in 2 months.
Considering the previous community post earlier in September directly warning the player base about leaks, it's safe to say that many saw this nuclear follow-up coming. Some could say that Kuro is going a bit too far with these actions. There are many across the community that believe that leaks drive an incredible amount of marketing and exposure through republished content and word of mouth. They're not wrong. Leaking a highly anticipated character's kit drives a ton of views and engagement.
100%. Like I said, there's a lot of videos going around, and the majority of the most viewed videos currently for content creation are leaks. What's the next character gonna be? How to prepare for the next character? What is the next area? What is the next story? What is the next enemies? What are the next echoes? And it does drive a lot of attention per se to Wuthering Waves. It does drive a lot of money and revenue to the creators doing this, but is it really the best? Is it really in the best interest of the developers to do this? Does it really help their game and fill their pockets the way they're wanting to? And more importantly, is this the way they want their players to experience what they're working on?
Content like this isn't a win-win situation for the developers. There's a lot of reasons for why leaks can be so detrimental to the development and release of a new version. It could be major spoilers of massive story development,
100%.
exposure of work that's still in the middle of development, or
Yep.
the disruption of typical content when new versions release.
Okay, so this point right here, right? Even discarded environment assets. Bro, How many times have there been creators that drop videos talking about the entire kit of a unit, and then a week later or 3 days later they drop another video because they tweaked or changed assets for that character, they switched or changed percentages, and then it keeps going and going and going, or skins or bosses or specific features of a game, and they're dropping these videos misinforming the audience about something and building a certain expectation, and then when the actual content drops, it might be completely different from what they were expecting, and now they're hating on the game, they're hating on the developers, yada yada yada.
There are many downstream implications for big leaks that heavily damage the perception of the final product that these devs are trying to release. If the pros for leaks really outweighed the cons, why would the developers make a statement like this? Why would they make it twice? Why?
Exactly, bro. This is the thing that is the most important, in my opinion. If this thing regarding leaks was actually in the benefit of the developers, if it was really helping them out and getting them more money, why are they so focused and dead set on this issue? And there are so many people online, there are so many people that are going to go crazy in the comments talking about, well, I like leaks because of this. Leaks are good because of that. But you're just a player. These are the developers, the ones that see the numbers, the ones that see the revenue, the ones that see the impact of things. Don't you think they know a little bit more regarding this issue than a simple person across their computer typing, well, this is actually good for the game? So think about that.
Why would the developers do this when they have all the insight and data when it comes to their engagement, marketing, and performance? Today, we'll be taking the time to dissect this absolutely gigantic statement to break down what prompted such an aggressive stance towards leaks by Kuro Games. When there's hype or engagement made from previews of leaked materials, that isn't free. That just means that the actual release, backed by expensive productions like live streams and version trailers, has less hype and engagement than it normally
100%, yep.
Bad for developers.
Very
As
bad.
Always, if you're enjoying this content, please hit that like and subscribe button.
Hey, you already know, guys. If you're watching this video, do be sure to check out the homie's channel, like, as y'all can see, subscribe, and follow him because he makes some pretty damn good content. Make sure you subscribe and like your boy's video too. Shit.
Kuro's tense relationship with leakers started all the way back to the launch of the game. The game's second version and very first beta, 1.1, had its pre-release tainted by leaks across every type of avenue imaginable. Extremely early character leaks, intricately describing the kits and numbers of Jinxi and Chong-Li, who undoubtedly experienced multiple rounds of balancing changes, a complete exposure of story cutscenes, pivotal plot development, and even unfinished assets.
Bro, I cannot tell you how many times people were dropping videos talking about Shang-Li's and Jinxi's numbers. I literally saw creators dropping 3 videos in the same week talking about their kits and their weapon. The next video is new changed numbers. Week after that, final numbers. Like, it was insane. And not only that, but we pretty much saw the entire cutscene of the story before it even came out. So I don't know about y'all, but that kind of ruined the hype for me. I guess that, you know, being able to prepare and all that in advance is pretty damn dope. It's cool. I don't mind that as much. But seeing things like cutscenes, the maps, and understanding their entire kit before they even actually drop, I think is kind of impactful and brings down the hype for the actual characters.
And of course, at the center of it all, the algorithms of YouTube and Twitter blasting this content as far and wide as possible. Because it's new, it's exciting, it gets views, and most importantly, ad revenue for these platforms. What this meant was that the developers, the people who had been spending months carefully crafting this content based off user research, meticulous design processes, and numbers balancing, weren't able to deliver the first impression that they wanted to. Not in their first version update, nor for any future one after that. It should be clear why this is a bad thing. These developers with these betas are looking for feedback on their work to see what can be improved, what needs to be toned back, and how they can make the overall experience better. They could be experimenting with new mechanics to see how they feel in gameplay. They might be showing off unfinished assets or incomplete descriptions, or even things that might not make it into the final cut. The fact of the matter is that leakers revealing all of this info so early on in development can easily create warped expectations for the final product that the developers never intended in the first place.
That is exactly what happens with a lot of these characters, right? For those of you that don't know, I drop videos on how to prepare for these characters before they drop, but I only talk about characters that might synergize good with them. I talk about the general echo, so if they're a DPS character, I talk about the DPS echoes that would go good with that element, but I never really talk about their kits. I don't talk about what they're going to do, the percentages, none of that, because I feel that it kind of ruins expectation. Being prepared for a character is one thing, but thinking that it's going to be a certain way weeks or even months before it drops is beyond ridiculous. We don't know what the developers are cooking. We don't know the numbers. And it really builds this expectation that when the characters drop, if they're not met, you're going to be pretty underwhelmed. And you might even start hating on the developers for not meeting your expectations.
If all of their work in progress is getting exposed, that could mean Kuro now feels the need for more polish across their betas. Rather than a rough draft of the update, they're instead pressured to bring something much closer to the final product to their test servers, severely limiting the potential for experimentation across kits. They can't test a new feature that might be risky or negatively received because they'll be immediately exposed to the public and draw outrage or criticism, even though improving on that is the point of these betas.
See, that's a really good point that he's talking about here. I feel that it's highly disrespectful, and by all means, I support the developers if they want to go crazy on these content creators that leak their stuff, because I feel that betas and their test servers are meant to allow them to, like Homie said, experiment and test out different modes, different numbers, different things with their games. And if they can't do that because the people that have access to these servers are leaking content, it's going to leave very little room for them to actually test out things that are further away from being released because they don't want it to be leaked. It's not going to leave them room for actual experimentation and testing different things because it's just going to be leaked. So honestly, this is a really good point he's talking about. And I feel that if you got access to their test servers, if you got access to see content that won't be coming out for weeks or months, you should have the respect and courtesy to give your feedback to the developers, but not show any of this. Follow the rules that they put you when it comes to joining these programs, and that's about it.
You see it all the time across other gacha titles,
Yeah.
especially in games like
It's a very common thing.
Releases like Zhao Kui or Rappa having some of the worst public perception across the player base prior to their release, despite having some of the highest power levels in game. That's because of the bastardized first impression that their early beta kits made on the player
Yup.
base. And all of that was because of leaks. It's clear from these prior examples that leaks shouldn't be the deciding factor when it comes to pulling or saving for a character. Drip marketing is there for a reason, and leakers are so bad at theory crafting and numbers are changing so much that you can't accurately gauge power levels either. Weathering Waves and Kuro Games, however, are impacted far more than Honkai Star Rail when it comes to their character leaks. That's because from a simple gameplay and animation perspective, there's a lot more that goes into Wuwa's release. Every character in Weathering Waves has a massive amount of unique animations. You can see them across every individual attack, recovery animations following those attacks, and of course, every ability in their kit, with some characters even having 2 animations built into one ability based off their Forte circuit, or active updates to their model across gameplay.
This is such a good point as well. I feel that a lot of leakers, and that's not talking about all of them, because there are some people out there that go real in-depth when it comes to their leaks, but there are some people out there that kind of talk very shallow when it comes to these characters. They'll either say they're an amazing DPS or an amazing support, but they won't really break down the character. They won't really give an idea of what it is. So people build this very shallow, very basic idea and image of what the character is supposed to be, when in reality, characters in a game like Wuthering Waves are extremely deep. They have a lot of things that they offer when it comes to their kids, to the way they play, to how you can build them and around them, that could be very interesting. They can't be, for the most part, placed in a very simplistic, very linear explanation. And I feel that a lot of leakers do that, leading people to think, oh, this character is a DPS, so they have to be just as good, if not as good as the last DPS. And then when the character drops, if they're a sub DPS or a duo DPS, or just a character that synergizes as a DPS with another character or something along those lines, they're already trash. And that was the case, for example, with Jin Shi dropping, and then after that we had Shang Li. People thought Shang Li was going to be amazing, and then Shang Li wasn't dealing the flat out numbers that Jin Shi was doing, so there was an uproar saying that Jin Shi is just top tier, which she is. But then the other side was Shang Li is garbage, she's trash, she's not good. And it was in part because of the leakers dropping information that wasn't fully cooked or well explained.
There's a reason why Kuro, in their message to leakers, emphasizes the incredible amount of time that goes into their character development. There's a huge amount of care that goes into their visual design and aesthetic feel, with multiple teams collaborating towards one goal. These people should be the ones who get to decide how their character gets promoted. They decide when the product is finished and ready for the public, after implementing feedback from their previous rounds of testing. Not some leaker or leaker adjacent looking to farm clout and engagement. When somebody leaks or actively disseminates leaks across content platforms, you have to think about what their motives are. These people know they're taking hype away from the actual release. They know they're doing a disservice to a character's first impressions. They know they're actively hurting or minimizing the months of work these developers have put in. When people make this type of content, especially on YouTube, their goal isn't to give you an informed overview on a pre-release character before you pull. These kits and mechanics change far too much across any beta for any of this speculation to be helpful. These people are just trying to get clicks, views, and money by either breaking the law or distributing the products of broken laws.
Now listen, anybody that says that's not true, whether you're a creator or you're a viewer, you're just full of shit. I'm gonna just keep it straight. If you're a content creator and you're dropping multiple videos a day or multiple videos a week or dropping videos every single day regarding leaks, and the majority of your content revolves around leaks, what is on the way that hasn't been officially confirmed, any information that Kuro hasn't officially dropped, and you're continuously doing this and you're seeing good results on your channel, you're not doing this because you're trying to help out the community, no matter how sweet, how nice, or how helpful and friendly you might sound. You're doing this because you're trying to get money in your pocket. And listen, I respect everybody's hustle. We're all in this YouTube business to make money. But I'm just letting you know, you got to be smart about the way you do. You got to be smart about the way you manage your channel. Because at the end of the day, I really don't care about what happens to all these leakers. And I'm sure none of the people watching care either. They'll just find other places to get their information, or wait until the actual content drops. But don't do this stuff and hide it behind trying to help the community. You're doing it for ad revenue and for your own, gain. Just like homie over here said, he put it as clear as day, and I respect him for that.
These are people that are looking to get ahead in the game by operating with complete dishonesty and disregard for the developers making their game. It's nothing short of incredibly selfish, especially when some of these quote-unquote CCs operate with the knowledge that other creators,
And then one thing that I really want to say is that these people, and I've been saying this for the longest amount of time, ladies and gentlemen, these people that drop leaks, that drop a lot of leaks, they're usually the people that are getting the most views outside of the giant creators, of course. We're talking about the general creators, right? They're dropping these videos talking about such upcoming content, and they're getting all these views, and it's kind of making it harder for creators that are making fun, creative, informative content that is helping out the player base to actually get noticed, because these other videos obviously generate more interest in the player base. Oh, upcoming character on the way. This is their kit. Gameplay footage of upcoming character, new boss gameplay footage. And this videos, they track a lot more views, so the YouTube algorithm pushes them even more, thus generating more traffic to these players, channels, and not hiding but not promoting the other videos of creators that are actually trying to help out the community by providing informative content.
The ones with morals are actively avoiding this type of content altogether. Having all of this content heavily promoted by the YouTube algorithm disrupts views for Kuro Games, content creators who are playing by the rules, and perhaps most importantly of all, the creator programs sponsored by Kuro themselves.
I don't know who this is, but homie just got called out hard.
If you're somebody who wants more creative woo-wah content, things like story overviews, lore breakdowns, or other unique ideas, that type of content is getting pushed down by leaks.
That's exactly what I was just saying, bro. That content does not get promoted. No matter what you guys say, whether it's story content, boss fights, build guides, all of that stuff gets pushed down because people want to see what the upcoming character that's being released in a month and a half does, or what their kit looks like.
Those creators aren't able to get the views or engagement to succeed in these programs because there's so many leaks clogging the algorithm. And when creators don't get results, they stop making content.
Yup.
These leaks do a lot more damage to the game's ecosystem than you think. Kuro's doing a massive service for more than just themselves by taking this stance against leaks. They're helping the entire community, and we can only hope that the community responds in kind. As always, if you enjoyed this content, please hit that like and subscribe button.
Yo, mad respect to the homie Saint Tauntis. Really good video. He put it out there, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's people in his comment section going off on the dude, because a lot of people take things personal, right? There's a lot of people out there that are going to say, well, leaks are helping me prepare for the character that's coming out in 3 months, and this is so good for a lot of players. Listen, at the end of the day, the people that put money in the developers' pockets are going to put money regardless of if they know if a character's coming out in, 2 months from now or the day it drops. That's not really who it affects. The people that take the most benefit from leaks would be the free-to-plays or the people that are on a budget when it comes to the game. And honestly, this is a gacha. We're not meant to have every character and every weapon. Pace yourself. Wait a couple of days after a new unit is released to see testing. There are plenty of content creators that will drop great videos showing builds, live streaming testing of the unit, and giving their opinion on whether you should summon or not. So there's no real reason to know 3 months, 2 months, or a month before a character drops what it does and all that good stuff, or if you should even summon, because if you just wait a couple of days after it releases, you'll be able to know all that information too. So that's just my cup of tea. I really like this video. Big shout out to the dude. I've said it like 5 times. I do hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoy my commentary and my opinion of it. If you think myself, homie over here, and anybody else, or even Kuro's in the wrong for this, let me know why in the comment section below. And if you agree, also let me know. For now, do be sure to join our Discord. We have a really cool Weathering Waves community, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.